Welcome back everybody to another Saturday with LackLuster Gaming. My name's Dale and this is the show for those who love to game but know they're mediocre at best. And today we are going to bring you a 3-crown deck that'll get you to 12-0. Today's deck is brought to you by Astro. He's a clan member of LackLuster YT. That's my clan. If you need a clan, come on and join us. But we're most likely completely full. So if we are and there's absolutely no spots, go to LackLuster YT 2 or LackLuster YT 3, soon to be 4. There's always room for you, or we'll make another clan for you. One way or another, come and join us. The deck is now on screen, and as you can see, it is comprised of the Hog Rider, the Ice Golem, the Barbarian Hut, the Fireball, the Mega Minion, the Archers, 3 Muskies, and the Log. So we've got a couple major win conditions, that being the Hog Rider, your 3 Musketeers, and at times, occasionally we get Barbarians and the Mega Minion to the tower as well, backed up by the Archers and led by the Ice Golem, and that combo right there is just brutally deadly. I mean, it just does major damage. Now, check out what we got on screen. We're dealing with a Lava Hound deck, and Astro is an absolute pro at countering just about any deck that's thrown at him. And we've got Graveyard now on the field, and Graveyard is fairly typically a difficult card to deal with. I don't know about you, but every time it pops up, I get panicked. I stop breathing sometimes, and I'm freaking out until it's gone, completely gone. And doesn't seem like Astro has the same problem, because he's gotten the 3 Musketeers and a bunch of other garbage all the way to the tower and just demolished it. 2 crowns down, and our opponent hasn't been able to do much else. So the Archers help tremendously against the Graveyard. The Ice Golem as well, distracting some of those dudes away from the tower. And our opponent is so frustrated, he's trying a quick sneaky little push on the left-hand side, but it's no match for the 3 Musketeers. So a little zap ain't gonna do anything, and the 2 Musketeers now are able to take out all of those Lava Pups and the remaining Mega Minion and just wipe the board, getting another push going on the right side with the Hog Rider, the Ice Golem. There's Archers, 2 Muskies, 2 Barbs, 2 more Archers, a Fireball to close it all down with the 3-crown victory. And I'm telling you, this is the 3-crown deck that you need to try, because, I mean, first off, there's one legendary. It's the Log, okay? And the Log is probably, out of all of the legendary cards, the easiest to replace. You could either use the Zap or something with a similar mechanic. Now, we've got the Tornado spell. That might be a great incorporation to this deck, actually. But the reason this deck works so well in this 2 Elixir challenge, double Elixir challenge, is because of the double Elixir. It's an expensive deck. 4.3 is not typically something that I would play with. I like decks that range between 2.7 and 3.4. Usually I won't go much higher than 3.4. But 4.3 in double Elixir is nothing at all. I mean, look at this. Already, we've got the Barbarian Hut, 7 Elixir. That's a lot. And then to team that up with a 9 Elixir card as well, if you play that at normal game speed with just regular single Elixir, you're going to get washed, because you have 2 major win conditions there that when they are placed, if you're going up against a good opponent, they're going to rush the opposite lane immediately and gain a crown. It's really easy to do that, and it's a strategy that you should implement in your gameplay. If somebody's using a Golem or a Lava Hound, as soon as they place it down, if you've got Elixir stored up in the bank, don't keep it and save it for a defense unless it's right on the bridge, but push the other lane. force them to spend Elixir on the opposite lane so that you can break up their push, for one, and if they decide not to defend against it at all, which they won't have much Elixir to use in the first place for the defense because they just dropped an 8 Elixir Golem or a 7 Elixir Lava Hound, then you're going to be able to get your push to their tower, especially if you're using something like the Hog Rider or if you drop 3 Muskies at the bridge. So check that out. 3 Muskies takes out everything here. I mean, granted, there are some great counters to the 3 Musketeers. You gotta look out for fireballs and lightnings, but normally people don't run a fireball and a lightning, so you just gotta time your opponent and wait for them to expend that spell and then pop your 3 Muskies. That is the best way to do it, to consecutively gain 3 crown victories. Now, Astro, as we were talking about earlier, member of the LackLuster family in our number 1 clan, he sits right around 3,500, sometimes goes up to 3,700 on the ladder, and he's one of our more active players, and he figured this deck out just this morning when the double Elixir thing hit, and shared it with us, and he was able to go 12-1. I want to see if you guys can beat that. I need somebody that can get this deck right here to 12-0. I know you can do it. Now, when I first learned of the deck, I was already in the middle of a double Elixir challenge, and I was 1 and 2 losses. I was experimenting, testing decks, you know how it goes, and wasn't doing well. I picked up this deck and made it all the way up to 9. So I lost with, 9-3. But to go from 1-2 to 9-3, that's pretty impressive. I mean, that shows that this deck has some massive potential, and I absolutely loved it. It was extremely... I don't play with the Barb Hut often. I don't know about you. I don't play with the 3 Musketeers often. The rest of the cards are typically in almost every one of my decks, but those 2 win conditions I never, ever play with, so I lack a lot of experience with those 2 cards, but it was extremely easy to just pick up and use. I mean, the learning curve is very, very short. You pick up this deck, 1, maybe 2 battles, and you're going to win it. I can almost guarantee you. I mean, unless you're the worst player in the world, this deck is going to work for you. So you have to try it. And like I said, if you don't have the log, throw a zap in there. I mean, the log really is a great tool, though. The pushback is... It's not mandatory, but it's a really great tool. So I would almost say definitely go with the Tornado instead of the Zap. Now, I want to cover something that we went over yesterday. Yesterday, we announced the second winner to our drawing because our first winner never replied. And if you were around for that, you know what happened. If you don't, go check out that video. It's right up there in the corner for you. But it's kind of hilarious. Got a lot of great comments from it. But I was able to actually speak with the original winner, Simon. And apparently he's got a younger brother. And his younger brother hates me for some reason. I guess I'm just, I don't know, horribly good looking. But because he hates me, he wrote that I was, you know what he said. If you don't, go look it up. But basically, it seems like it was a misunderstanding. It wasn't on... The comment in question was not posted on yesterday's video, which is where it should have been posted had it came from Simon. So I gave him the benefit of the doubt, and we gave a gift card to Adam Jeter and Simon. So just want to show you guys, like, if you're nice... You catch more flies with honey. That's all I'm gonna say. Just be kind to each other. That's like the state of this community is kind of up in the air, and Supercell did a wonderful thing by letting us mute emotes. And you know, I still see constantly that there are people complaining about the emote functions, but if it gets to you, just mute it. That's it. It's there in the game, and people use it for a strategy. I encourage you to use it as a strategy sometimes too, even though I also encourage you to be a nice person. So, you know, if you BM somebody, at least let them know they had a good game and they played well, and, you know, thank them and wish them luck. Grant them happy tidings on their way. You know what I'm trying to say. So now, let's get into this match and analyze it. We've rambled on long enough. Oh, no, wait. No, we'll get to it. Already we've seen what? 1, 2, 3. We're on our 4th match right now, and we're doing really well so far. Don't know if this one's going to go to a 3 crown, but look at that. We got 1 tower down, a minute and a half left in the match, and the 3 muskies dropped right in the center. And that is a great placement for 3 muskies. It catches people off guard. You're guaranteed to get some very high damage from that positioning. And yeah, there it is. Another 3 crown victory. Just that easy. That's why you want to place them there. No, not too many people know how to counter them once you place them there, unless they got a fireball or a zap like ready on that spot, because they know that you're going to place it there. And if you don't know how to foresee that, that's something that you need to start looking into, okay? Like, learn your opponent's deck, and learn what the cycle is, and really pay attention to them and what their elixir might be at. And that is what is going to get you to Legendary Arena. It's not your deck, it's not the level of your cards, it's your gameplay and your foresight into what you know about your opponent and how to use that knowledge against them. All right? Think about that for a minute, because it's really going to make a big difference in the long run. So on screen, oh, this is actually my trial. This is my first match using this deck. So not as good as Astro, but look at that. Opponent has already left the match because of a split push. She didn't know how to handle it or something. And now, granted, I was in the very low portions of the match, of the challenge. I think it was the first match out of 12. So, you know, whatever. But there we go with the 3 crown victory. Now, J5, big shout out. Check him out. Description down in the center, or in the description box. He's hosting a tournament today. There's the information on screen. Come check us out, and we'll see you tomorrow. It's really dark here. It's like, I don't know if anybody's back there or what. It's creepy.